All right, I'm all ready to go and finally do this Star Wars live stream. I'm dressed per. All right, see you in a minute. Oh, hi! I didn't see you there. Welcome to Famicom Dojo live, where this week we're going to play Super Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back on Super NES. So very apropos, I suppose. We played this a couple weeks ago, and it was very much like. Do I even have it here anymore? It's very much like the Famicom Star Wars game I played, which had some. Yeah, I don't see it. Very much like the. Oh, there it is. Here, there we go. There you go. It's very much like this game, different developers and everything. But it's a side-scrolling action game. I think I mentioned that this one had a Hoth level, but it's not like the Hoth level from Empire. It's one where you had to rescue somebody. Was it Chewbacca? I don't remember. From Hoth, but it wasn't like, it's just because Hoth's a planet. It's like how Mandalorian keeps going back to Tatooine for some reason. Basically the same thing. So here we actually have the events of The Empire Strikes Back, but no Vader turning into a scorpion, sadly, or other weird things. But I imagine Vader's in the game at some point, right? I don't really know. Now I tried this before with the. Uh-oh. I gotta find my swab here. I tried playing this on the Retron 5 before, and it didn't like it. So we're gonna try it one more time, and if that doesn't work, we're gonna go back to the actual Super NES. But the reason I want to do that, well, it'll become clear if I have to use it again. But it's not an easy game, very difficult to play. So while we're making sure that the Retron has the best possible chance it can to function with this game, I thought we'd just have a little chit chat about Star Wars and Star Trek entertainment media. Because Strange New Worlds, season 2 of Strange New Worlds is on Paramount Plus right now. Also, while I mention it, hashtag save Star Trek Prodigy, by the way, because my kids are watching that show now. And I didn't know it was going to get taken off Paramount Plus. It's gone now, but we started watching it, and I think like 3 or 4 episodes in, and we lost the ability to do it. So I ended up buying the season digitally on Amazon because it's not available anywhere else. But Amazon has that option, assuming that it's good enough, right? I looked for the Blu-ray first, and the Blu-ray was not immediately available. I could have gotten DVDs, but I didn't feel like that was good enough. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll probably get a physical copy eventually. Only the first season's out. Well, that's the other thing too, is the Blu-ray only had the first 10 episodes of the first season out of 20 out, and the full 20 were available on Amazon. So we're working through that show. But I'm watching Strange New Worlds, which I've also introduced them to, but some episodes especially are a little more adult fare, even though it's the most kid-friendly out of the non-animated shows. But any hoozle. Oof. Okay, I think that might do it. Let me alert the Discord that we're running things now. Strange New Worlds has been very interesting. Oh, I didn't go to the right thing. We're live. So apparently I can't spell everyone. Also gonna tweet it out. Not gonna thread it yet. Threads is a new thing since we started, since we last streamed. So I could probably talk about threads a fair bit too. If you're not on threads, get on threads. It's real easy. I think it's real easy. Anyway. Okay. Let's see who all is here right now. Live chat has moved. Okay. Let's give this a shot. I put the game in. The fact that it's black, the screen is black, does not bode well. But let's give that a shot. And I dropped my controller. I'm using a Famicom Super Famicom controller because why not? Oh, it's doing the thing again. Oh yeah. Yeah, putting this game in causes the Retron to reboot. I could show you, but like, what's the point? Yeah. So I know that Satoshi has mentioned many times he thinks that I should update my firmware. We'll give this a shot in the actual Super NES, which means we're going to have a harder time of it. But you know what? We'll learn together. It'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? I'm having a great time. Speaking of great times, Strange New World Season 2 is a great time. And I've been watching that every week with less trepidation than when I entered, because the first episode was not, shall we say, my favorite. But it's gotten less stressful. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not looking for it down here. I'm trying to plug in. All right. I'm trying to plug in the RetroTink 2X to make sure it works, and I'll be right back. All right, let's see. Are we even plugged in? Yeah, we are. All right. To the retro station. Shame. Is the sound coming through? It is allegedly. It is allegedly. Okay. Sounds like it's coming through. So we're going to do it here. I got to put in my password. In the meantime, you can enjoy some of this gameplay footage. Yeah, so Strange New Worlds has been very interesting. Episodes 2 and 3 are possibly my favorite of the show. Like that includes like all of season 1. Like I really enjoyed season 1. It was like good comfort food. Episode 2 might be up there in the list of great Star Trek episodes, and 3 I just enjoyed on its own merits. I don't think it's going to be one of those like gateway crossover episodes like Sitting at the Edge of Forever was, but it's got a similar premise. And it's got some red meat for longtime Trek fans like myself. But yeah, episode 4 was also very interesting. I'm sure that I'll have the most to say about that, because that's one people have called weak, and the weakest, even more weaker than the first episode of the season, and I don't know if I agree with that. But we can talk more about that in a bit as I try and figure out just where the heck my password is to get into this. There she is. Oh, all those sampled sounds, you guys. This is great. I love it. All right, I have to use X to enter it for some reason. And if I remember this correctly, this will allow me to... Impressive. This will allow me to... what did I hit? Something stopped working. Apparently I can't pause. I know that blanked out for you, but my TV stopped working for a second. All right. So there's some force jumping involved here. I can't remember if it's just holding down the jump button that works the best, or if I gotta... And life is not precious on the planet of Hoth, my own included. There we go. Got a little bit more. No, that's not. Oh, and death. Life and death on the planet Hoth. Hello, someone is here. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a hard time. If I hold down the start button, it stays paused. There it goes. Okay. I don't think I have any more USB ports I can use to plug this thing in. I'm using my phone for the chat. So, unfortunately, if you put anything, while there are a whole bunch of spots in this power strip, if you put anything to one side of them, the other side is unusable. I mean, it's always hard when you're buying a power strip to tell if that's going to be the case or not, because you don't have your stuff there, like your various blocks and bricks that take up way too much space. So given that I don't seem to have... all right, this won't reach. You know, they do make 2-meter cables, and I could probably go find one if I needed to, but... Pook Ninja, hello! Delios of Sparta. You missed the banter about Strange New Worlds. Don't worry. We are just getting started. Or did you miss it because of the last time I streamed this? I don't know. Whatever. You missed it in the sense that you're glad it's back? Who knows? You know. Obviously. Well, this game is going to be hard to play if I can't... Oh my goodness. I just wanted the heart. That's all I wanted. There it goes. Blaster power, great. Ooh, I can probably farm those and keep not dying. This is fantastic. There we go. So I do have to hold the jump button, so it's kind of like force jumping. Ow. I'm not sure why it works sometimes if there's like dead. I'm not sure if it works sometimes because there's some kind of like updraft or whatever. All right, first time that I've been able to focus on the game properly as a... Criminy. I didn't even try to jump up there this time. No! Ow! Stop it! Ooh, you froze me with this fire breath? Does that make sense? I don't know. And I fell down there again. I tried to force jump out of there. So is that really force levitating I'm thinking of? I don't know. Oh, what was that move? There's a way to block, and I forgot I can switch to a blaster if I want to. I don't want to. No, I was last time we played this, I was very excited by like the look and feel because it's LucasArts published, but not developed. Or rather, it's LucasArts licensed, and is it THQ published? And then developed by another, whatever. LucasArts' name is on here, so they felt it was, I don't know, at least graphically up to their standard. I didn't want to go up there, and I lost my power-ups. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's great. I'm not trying to jump up there. I'm not trying to. I got this sudden urge to play. Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. I got the sudden urge to play The Last of Us. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm following Bella Ramsey on Threads, so I'm pretty sure that's part of it. But also I saw the announcement that they were nominated for a whopping 24 Emmys. I believe Star Trek Picard Season 3 is also on the list, but it's all for, it's only two, and it's all for makeup. So, maybe. Okay. Come on. Yes, give me that. Alright. Oh, criminy. I think I'm doing worse. I thought that like having a couple weeks off would be like fresh, and I am not fresh. Not so fresh, so clean. Now, if I can only remember... Criminy. Is it back? There's a way to like defend. It feels like there's a turbo button on or something. I'm only pushing this once. And it feels like there's a turbo button on, but I'm on my Super NES, and I'm not on... Oh, did I get more health on my sword? Is that how that works? Everything kills you. I thought that, like, I could like push back and I would defend. Oh, down, there it is. I can defend that way. Ow. Everything's killing me. This is terrible. If I can't make it through here in the next few minutes, I'm going to go to the next level. I'll find a passcode and I'll just do it, because we have more important things to do than watch me stink at this for the next 60 minutes. So, all right, yeah. I feel like I gotta talk about Strange New Worlds a whole heck of a bunch. We had our courtroom episode, which just, you know, wasn't good just by virtue of being a courtroom episode, but I thought was a perfect, still a perfect way to handle Una's trial. And it was, you know, pretty obviously implied that she was gonna make it out of there. Because she's in much of the rest of the season in the promotional stuff. So we were going to get her back. Although in dead. In Pike's flash forward, she was in prison. So I don't know if we're meant to imply that that helps him to prepare and fight harder to make sure that she wouldn't stay in prison. Mushroom cloud explosion, small organic creature, nuke death. Love it. I agree too. So, whatever. So good things I liked were, I mean, apart from Una's whole thing being a trans allegory, it's also like don't ask, don't tell. It also has to do with eugenics stuff, which is going to come up again in the following episode. Like, I know some people are saying they don't really care for these storylines, and we have like two characters who are so entrenched in that stuff. But I feel like it works, and you know, unlike City on the Edge of Forever, that like literal Hitler, we're going with Star Trek's Hitler, basically, and the thought, kind of going back to the first episode of the show, the pilot, the first season episode, that Earth had to go through this period of darkness before we could become this utopia. And I don't know about had to, but that's like the story, right? Ever since the original series, that, you know, things got worse, but then they got better. And this was like in the, I didn't even push jump this time. He just went up. This was all on the cloud of the Cold War, right? So there was an implication that we, you know, maybe us now wouldn't make it out of that, or there were other threats to worry about besides nuclear annihilation. Like there's still the rise of fascism and strongmen and all that stuff. And like looking at the world now, I'm starting to really feel that, you know? But there we go. Keep going. Gonna be dead soon. Oh my gosh, did I make it? Somehow. Criminy. And dead. All right. That's enough of this. Let's look for some passwords. Super Star Wars passwords. Jedi difficulty. I know what that means. These aren't in any particular order. Carbonate chamber. What game am I playing? Oh, this is... Yeah, Empire, right? Yeah. Why? Let's start over. I'm trying to figure out who made this guide. Now I know the whole outline of the game, and I don't know how I feel about that. So if we start a game, yeah, I didn't even get a chance to pick a difficulty level. Maybe if I can do easy, I'm gonna do easy. We need this. Hello, Satoshi. I want brave, you said. All right. Yeah, I'm on brave. No, I'm gonna do easy. I'm not that brave. All right, let's do it. Let's start over. If I had known that going in, guys, we could have made this a lot easier on ourselves this whole time. Yeah, so I liked the tension, right? Because usually in these courtroom things they get the principal cast to do everything, and like Pike takes a back seat in the season until the 4th episode. Like he mentions he's going to find this prosecutor, or this lawyer, this defense lawyer. He doesn't say who or why, but it's someone that Una recommended, apparently. And I guess to dive into her history, you get to learn more about Illyrians, which I'm pretty sure are a race new to this show. And designed specifically to talk about these issues. I know some people are hoping that they get T'Pol because she'd be old, but you know, as a Vulcan, not like terribly old. But it makes way more sense for her to be like a Illyrian civil rights lawyer, someone who's not in the Federation, and can help to challenge the Federation's ideals without completely condemning them, although she doesn't think highly of the Federation. But it also gives Una a chance to speak about what she finds good about Starfleet and the Federation, and why she wanted to do everything that she did. Look at these one-hit kills. I'm loving this. Great. Oh yeah, so easy. Look at that. I'm barely breaking a sweat right now, you guys. This is fantastic. I'm so powerful. I am a Jedi. This is ridiculous. Oh yeah. Tauntaun it up. Then I'll see you in hell! I probably didn't read the chat. You're right. Oh, interesting. So Satoshi's saying that T'Pol would have been revealed as Romulan, but never knew. That is interesting. I know, like, Saavik is a Romulan too, and was emblematic of Spock's desire to reunify the two cultures into one, which always seemed like a weird thing to try to do, but in retrospect, and I really appreciate how Discovery season 3 and 4 too as well, but how season 3 follows this up with reunification part 3, and we get to see the fruits of those labors centuries hence. So yeah, it was nice. It continues to be nice. I think it's a good idea. And then you got the tie-ins with Picard with the darn it, the Sisterhood of Man. I don't remember what they're called. And making Michael's mother one of them was a nice touch to give us a window into that culture that continues, that bit of Romulan culture that continued after the destruction of their homeworld and their son and everything. So it's good to see that, and the difficulty of reintegrating with a people and a culture that are so literally at this point alien to the people of Vulcan, now Navarre. Spoilers. That's dedication, though, to be like, you know, we're gonna have a new culture, a new society, and you know, one that's gonna work for everybody. And so to like rename your planet, baller move. I'm just saying. So let's keep on rolling. Oh, that was, I should have gone back for that power-up, huh? It's probably gone now. Oh, yeah, that's right. These friggin' drones keep popping out of the woodwork here. This was much harder. It's still not easy. This was much harder. Ow! Ow! Death, 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 death. This was much harder when, oh, all the way back here. Criminy. Anyway. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed these other characters getting a chance to shine. And you know, whatever the reasons behind it being practical or story, having a different prosecutor, actually having an actual lawyer. And maybe it's like just a Starfleet thing, because like Batel, Captain Batel being the prosecutor is weird. Like there were reasons for it, but like she's like another Constitution class starship captain. Why is she being tapped as prosecutor? It like, don't they have prosecutors? Now I remember that bit about Q saying they killed all the lawyers in the 21st or 22nd century. Which, you know, yeah, maybe. So maybe they never made a comeback after that. But, you know, JAG offices are a thing. I'm just saying, like, there's no reason to, whatever. Boy. I probably should just abandon the Tauntaun right there, because it will not do me much good getting across those jumps. Although I did make it farther than I had previously, so there's that. Yeah, so like, you know, for the sake of not spoiling the episode, there was just a lot going on, some good character stuff. We got Una, some backstory and growth, and more about Illyrians. And you know, at the fringes of the Federation's utopia, or at least the Earth's utopia, there are problems, and the places that the Illyrians live, in order to sort of eventually become Federation citizens, does remind me quite a bit of like U.S. territories and how we don't really think about or talk about too much. Can I get out of there? Nope, I'm just gonna stand there until I die. That we don't think or talk about too much how, like, yes, they're citizens, but they don't have the same rights. They don't have like voting representation. They don't have funding, and like people even treat places like Puerto Rico as foreign countries, even though, you know, they are U.S. territories and full citizens that have full rights, you know, minus the representation in Congress thing. I can come to the U.S. freely. We can go there freely. Like it's all part of the same country, even if we don't treat it like that for a lot of practical purposes. So, and that's very much what this Illyrian colony was like, where it's like on the fringes of the Federation, like sort of protected by and subject to their laws, but not fully, you know, like not really. It's like, we'll kind of treat you like your Federation citizens. So, not surprising, I mean, because again, of the real world similarities, but it helps to like point out real world situations that need improving, because if all this stuff is supposed to be allegory, then it's important that we talk about, point to the things in our own society that could stand to be better. And that's one of those things. So. So xenophobia takes place of things like human racism and similar xenophobias, because we've solved those problems amongst ourselves, even if we haven't amongst darn it, all the races of the galaxy, especially ones that aren't subject to our laws and everything. Like, you know, just because we can get along with each other after millennia of war and bloodshed doesn't mean that we can with every intelligent race out there. Like those differences are more difficult to overcome because we just haven't experienced them. So we get good stuff in the first season of Strange New Worlds, where it's like you meet a new culture and you have no idea how to interact with them. Like, you know, Star Trek's been doing that for decades. Like, you know, the Darmok episode where everyone speaks in memes. You know, we have a lot in common. We just can't communicate, and it doesn't matter what good our intentions are if we can't find a way to interact with each other in a meaningful fashion. So, I don't know how good I feel about the whole like genetics ban being like the canard. The one thing that we can't seem to get over, like, because it's being played as like, you know, there are really good reasons, because of our horrible history and the pain and suffering it caused humanity, that we barely survived it. So it's, shall we say, understandable, but not fully reasonable. Like, it's a blind spot because we'd rather just not deal with it. Like, if it's easier to treat someone as like an illegal person, like, we're still happy to do that, unfortunately. So, what is the answer to that? I don't know. I don't think the show purports to know either. But at least it exists and they're trying something? There we go. Oh, come on. No! No! Come on! I gotta go all the way back to the beginning.
Dear Orthodox, there is
all right, what's everyone been saying in the chat while I've been thinking about how to be more gooder? Press X to thermal. All right, so I'm in the Wampa Cave, right? I don't see 3D Snowspeeder section, Carbonite Chamber, Chewbacca versus Boba Fett. Those are the three passwords at the top of all of these. They're not in any particular order. They appear to be in alphabetical order, which is useless. I don't know which level comes first. You tell me. So I guess I'm glad I'm where I'm at. I'm going to blame GameSpot for this. Whatever. All right. So I can use the detonator if I want. Good to know. All right, I guess enough about that episode. We got our time travel episode tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, which calls back to what's the actual name that they use? It's the name of like the temporal protection agency that they mention in Deep Space Nine, having to do with like the Bell riots. Or no, that wasn't that one. That was the 30th anniversary Tribbles episode. that involve time travel on that, and Kirk specifically. 17 separate temporal violations, and I'm not even sure if the one that we see in this episode is one of them, because yes, there is a captured Kirk, but he's from an alternate timeline. It's very similar to Star Trek Picard, but this isn't like the Confederation of Planets or whatever. In like a jingoistic Earth, it's a more like closed off, defensive Earth, and they even pay homage to what they called Starfleet in early episodes of TOS, the United Earth Fleet, and like United Earth Command and stuff like that, because there was no concept of Starfleet yet in Star Trek in those early episodes. So I know Satoshi mentioned like how the cage, and then subsequent episodes, I think too, like they don't allow women to be captains, or like Pike mentioned, he wasn't used to having women on the bridge. And there's plenty of women on the bridge. Oh, I died? In this show, and there are clearly women who are captains. So are we going to stick with United Earth Defense or whatever? Are we going to gently retcon that? Soft reboot in the second half of the first season of TOS, or are we going to be dogmatically stuck to canon because we mentioned it once, even though they didn't know what they were talking about? Like a lot of what I made detailed notes about this, and I really hope that we can get to more of it in Two Boobs Watch the Two. But I mentioned some of it in our episode about the first season of the original series, which I hope y'all will listen to and/or watch the stream that we had of it. But suffice to say, nice little nods to that with a version of Kirk that is from a timeline where that's still a thing, right? But he and La'an get sent to the 21st century, 2022 Toronto. So ahead of the Bell riots, prior to what happens in Picard season 2. And this is kind of where I get stuck on it, is because Picard season 2, we spent so much time in the 21st century in Picard season 2. So much time. Like to the point where like this episode lost a lot of what it could have been if we, dang it! This episode lost a lot of what it could have been if we hadn't had 10 episodes of a similar concept already. The things I was saying in its favor versus Picard was that we didn't spend a lot of time like recalling things like other Star Trek TV shows and movies, right? Like we weren't paying direct references to Star Trek 4 that were distracting. Well, nice, I guess, but a little distracting from the plot, I feel. So the story was still like its own thing, and I feel like can hold up more over time without being overly referential. Of course, they had 10 episodes to do it in the case of Picard, and only one episode, so this story felt tighter to me as a consequence. So even though there were references and callbacks, which was never to say that there weren't. I just mentioned a few of them, but it's like it's not important to the story that there are those Easter eggs, and it's not like I don't feel like it was distracting in the way that like the punk on the bus was. I still enjoyed that. I still liked it. I'm glad they did it, but they did a lot of that in Picard. So again, it doesn't help that we had that to compare it to, because it could have been. It's not easy if I'm unable to do the platforming elements, right? But suffice to say, it was a great La'an episode. I like the juxtaposition of like seeing Kirk as a secondary character instead of the primary character, right? And how he acts in this situation reminds me so much of how Kirk is during a lot of the original series. Like he's intrigued by, at least in the original series, to a point of possible condescension of like a woman who knows what she wants. And like I guess Edith Keeler is the best positive example of that in the original source material, where this is the kind of woman he's attracted to. And the kind of man he's attracted to is Spock, but the kind of woman he's attracted to is Edith Keeler. He hasn't met Spock yet, although he did meet Spock briefly in this alternate timeline, and neither here nor there. Anyway. So there's that, and like he was very like coy and charming the whole time, and eventually does the Kirk thing of making his move, as you expect Kirk would do eventually, right? How do I... dang it! How do I... Do I get out of this, or am I... Oh! I made it! Criminy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, okay. Probably don't want to go up there, probably want to go down here and not die. That, more life, always good. Okay, okay. There's a boss? Oh, I was warned about this. Oh my, this is a huge wampa! Oh no. I don't want to freeze to death. Oh. Dang it. Alright, I think I got this, guys. Oh no! Is he laughing at me? That jerk? Well, thank God for me he wasn't changing up his attack pattern, because that would have been horrifying. Oh. Alright, we're out of the cave. Like, I wish I could have avoided having to go to the cave at all. That would have been super. So I went to the cave for some reason. Continuing on. Oh, and dying. Okay, let's write this password down. CSPTMP.
There is no try.
Okay. Let's pause for a moment here. See what everyone's saying in the chat. Yeah, that's a good question about La'an being in Starfleet because of she's allegedly herself still an augment. Like, you know, she's either directly related to Khan or is of the family, right? So there might be an understanding that if it's in your genetic history and you can't help it, that they don't hold it against you, right? And then it's possible that, you know, with continuing to marry into normal humans, that those augmentations would lessen over time potentially. So there are reasons that you can think of why Lan is fine, and I don't know if you even have to like her as a character to like Christina Chong as an actor, because she friggin' brought it, you guys. She sold the whole thing for me, especially by the end. Yeah. Kind of like Pike had his whole personal demons thing with. I hate. I'm just gonna get off this tauntaun. I'm not gonna bring him. He's just gonna stay there and freeze. Okay. There we go. Oh, man. I got pushed off the edge. I can't even air control. I'm still getting pushed. All right. More things I liked about getting Kirk right is how he's like, you know, I know that like people like to think of him as like a walking like set of hormones or whatever, and like he does kiss a girl he just meets. You know, that's not in dispute, but you know, there's something there, and something that Paul Wesley says. If you watch the Ready Room about it, is like he thinks of Kirk as someone who falls in love, but like, was it Paul Wesley who said this? Oh boy, someone who falls in love, but will always pick his duty and the ship over everything else. Like he's not trying to be a big ol' skank. He's just got to move on. All right, second cave. Here we go. Get through one cave, I can get through them all, right? Seems reasonable. Here we go. Oh, this looks the same. The background's different on this cave, though, so I know it's different. Oh, booski! Lame, lame, lame. NSR CSL.
Port or not, there is no try.
I may rename this feed to easy mode, just so everyone realizes that we've started over. Yes, more life. Give me life. Yes. Ow. Shield should help a bit. Not this again. Thank you. No, thank you. Oh, are my shields gone already? That stinks. Ah, darn it. Okay, okay. All right, at least that wasn't like the end of me. I was getting really worried I was going to fall into a pit and not return. This reminds me of Robot Unicorn Attack a bit. Anyone play that game? Is there, like, there's Robot Unicorn Attack 2, I think, that has survived into the 64-bit era of iOS, but I think the originals are gone, and I also think that the Flash versions, you know, well, they're Flash, so you can't play them anymore anyway, but I don't think that they ever got updated to a version that you could play. So it's, the original Robot Unicorn Attack is just gone, and that's so sad. Anyway. Very similar layout, even though it's not the same. Very similar. Can I get up there? No. Oh, almost dead. Ah, dead! Got so close. All right. So again, I won't say too much more about this episode, but other than I really enjoyed it. It's wild that we've only seen Paul Wesley as the canonical actual Kirk in one shot in the show so far. So hopefully there's more to it eventually, but I think they're holding off. They're using Kirk in a very specific way to like acknowledge that, like, you know, yes, this is where the show is going. Yes, we are trying to adhere to canon, but doing something fun with it. You know, this is still Pike's ship, and we're not gonna just give it over to Kirk right now. Like the contrasts are interesting, especially having James Kirk be someone that La'an in particular wouldn't interact with normally. Is a good choice to not create like a lot of tension going forward with any of the other characters on the ship. But there we go. Oh. Oh my. Come on. Yes. Oh no. Okay. Can I get back up there? Should I get back up there? That's a better question. I don't know. Yeah. Ah. There we go. I saw that one at least. Darn it. Nothing here. Alright. Oh. Okay. I guess I used my force jump already. I don't know. By the end of that episode, I felt how alone, like, La'an must have felt. But, you know, much like Pike got over his particular demons, La'an's gotten over hers, or at least has made some progress, right? And it won't be this chip on her shoulder going forward, hopefully, much longer. And she's just seen some really good character growth. And then so the very next episode, we are dealing with Pike, and we're dealing with Rigel 7. Has La'an. I thought they were going to have some kind of callback to that, so I thought that's what they were doing with it at first. But that's not what they were doing. So I can't say that the experience from that episode has like informed yet anything that she's doing currently, but it's still interesting. It's still something I'm going to look out for. But then we get Pike dealing with something from his own past now, not just worrying about his future for a change. Oh, excuse me. Am I gonna make it? I need that health extension, or I'm not gonna make it. Am I gonna get it? When did I get that? Well, let's just keep going. Oh, boy, that hurt. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I had it by now. So I've gotten farther than I have the last time. Ah, darn it. Okay. Or these are just so similar that I can't tell them apart. Yeah, maybe that's it. We'll just go with that. Woo! All right, 2 of them. 3. Yes! Okay. I need a big heart. I need a big ol' heart. Not these little teensy ones. So this episode, this is the 4th one and the most recent one. There'll be a new one tomorrow. This episode was interesting. I wouldn't call it one of the weakest of the season. I was swinging my thing, man. I wouldn't call it that. But it was... Oh, did I run out of... Right. NSR CSL. Oops. What? Hold on. Let me go back to the stream here. NSR. SCL. Close. I was very close. It didn't need to be Rigel 7. And they definitely like added stuff to the whole idea that wasn't there originally, which is fine. Like a lot of the stuff wasn't there originally with Star Trek, and we're doing a soft reboot of TOS, right? Like the Enterprise, the way it looks, the history of things, acknowledging with that episode that there are definitely temporal shenanigans going on, that the whole time war for Enterprise has already occurred, and it's changed history in certain specific ways. So now, especially because they changed it and like acknowledged that there was a version of Kirk from this like Earth, United Earth Fleet thing, that like maybe this version of the Federation was due to the temporal Cold War. Like, I like the idea and the suggestion. So the fact that things are different, not a problem for me at all. Like, you know, Star Trek, if it's going to keep going into the future and be relevant, we're going to have to keep, you know, redoing it. It's far enough in the future that, you know, when humanity does get to the 23rd century, we may have to deal with that at that point. Maybe by then we don't need Star Trek specifically anymore, or we won't have this version of it any longer. But I figure that'll be the case whenever we do go to the stars, and it's not like what we thought it was going to be, you know. Anyway, so in this episode, people are forgetting things. there are consequences from the courtroom episode for Captain Patel. And I don't remember seeing her ship in previous episodes, like last season, but I forgot the actor's name, Melanie something. Oh boy, she's Mrs. Hold on. She's Mrs. McMurray from Letterkenny. And so apart from that little chuckle to myself that she's like not swearing up a storm and fully in the bag all the time, we don't get to see, like, we've seen a lot of her, but we only see her like bookended basically in the last episode of the first season. And so she's been in, out of 4 episodes, 3 of them already. And I like her. I like seeing more of her. And they give her more to say and do, and like indicate like what her life and career are actually like outside of her hanging out with Pike for breakfast, as they try and get time to themselves amidst. Oh, I got frozen and zapped? That stinks, dude. All right. Come on. Yes, I needed that. Woo! All right. So, with that all in mind, oh, darn it. Oh, come on. Woo! Look at that. Yes. Health sword. Oh, I don't want to go that way. Come on. That little nubbin of health. Very important. As I lose it almost immediately to those eel things that can apparently jump through solid objects. Whatever. So we see Pike completely flub his relationship with her, but in a way that they come back to by the end of the episode, and like I like this because it does imply that he's kind of gotten over the knowledge of his future to a certain degree, and a lot of what he's doing isn't motivated by knowing he's going to be dead for all intents and purposes in the next 7 years or 6 years or whatever. And it just has to do with his character and how he's afraid of getting close to people. So I like that. And the whole thing where they're on this planet and they start forgetting things is a good device to like kind of pare his character back to like the truth of how he feels about the way that he kids himself even, about what his motivations are and how he feels about her and other things in general. So very interesting device, good introspective episode for Pike, even if everything else about it is just kind of like, eh. But on the other hand, I like it in a way that it sort of harkens back to like the tone and pacing of the original series in a way that also kind of modernizes it. Because is it silly that they lose their memory because of radiation and then like can get it back without like medical intervention or whatever? A little. But clearly it happens because they find an abandoned crew member who's very, very cross with them and is punishing them basically. So the same thing ends up happening to the Enterprise crew in a way that makes Spock look a little green, not the greatest moment for Spock, but the sort of mixed thing is that they made it seem like it's going to also be like an Ortegas episode, or like primarily an Ortegas episode, and it really isn't, because they like give her like a professional log entry and everything, and then it seems like it's going to go somewhere, and then we spend time with Pike instead. So I'm like, why are they giving Erica Ortega's short shrift here? And we've been told that there's going to be an Ortega's episode. And if this is it, I'm not terribly happy with that. I hope that we see more, because she does get to be the hero, but it's like surface level, right? Like we don't really get to dive into her and who she is nearly the same way that we do with Pike in this episode, and of course not all as much as what we got with Lon in the previous episode. So this is a really long level, you guys. I'm having a really hard time getting through this, even on easy mode. I would have had no chance if I had stayed on Brave. Just no chance at all. All right, let's try to be a little more deliberate and careful. Let's go. Come on. I'm doing this again. I'm gonna lose my shield. In the meantime, that's great. Oh boy. Used the detonator by accident, but I am not complaining. Okay, here we go. I don't have to go over there and hit that guy because I can't even get the heart from him. I'm just not gonna do it. Don't have a detonator anymore. So I can only keep one at a time, it looks like. Alright, this is where I wanted to be. I haven't been able to stay up here for a while now, so this is good that I managed to come up here. Oh! Oh, come on! Oh, I got a detonator, so that's worth something anyway. Oh! Poopy! Nope, not dealing with this. Nope, goodbye. God, those things are deadly. Why are ice crystals so flippin' deadly? Health sword, great. Ah! I didn't mean to have a force jump there.
Here, there is no
All right, we're getting close to the end. Actually, we are at the end, guys. Yeah, what situation should I go to the blaster? I have no idea. Yeah, did I get that she flies the ship? Yes, I got that. Do I hate that? No, I don't. People are upset about that. I don't know why. I'm just gonna say, guys, that I'm noticing people are having more of a problem with the female characters than they probably should. Because episode 2 was all about Una. Her defense counsel's a woman. Episode 3 is centered on La'an. And puts Kirk in the back seat. But again, I really feel like it showcases his character and gets him in ways that... oh yeah, I was saying something about how he's like a walking hormone factory or whatever, but he's really a book with legs, as Gary from Where No Man Has Gone Before characterized him. And then there's the chess thing. I liked that. Little thing I didn't catch. He calls the 2D version of chess Idiot's Chess, which is funny because he played 3D chess with Spock a lot in the original series. But also later on, you see, and I'm going to spoil this bit, you do see Khan as a kid in this episode. But there's a chess set in his room. And that's a good callback, not only because of something that Kirk said in that episode, and it ties it together in that episode. If you recall, in Wrath of Khan, the way that Kirk finally beats him is he's thinking three-dimensionally, much like 3D chess, and Khan's only like thinking of his spaceship in like a plane, right? Like not more like a boat and less like a submarine, like Kirk was doing, and that's how he eventually defeats Khan. So that's a great subtle callback to a great movie, and their rivalry that is not touched upon directly at all in this episode, but there's little things like that all over the place if you're looking for them, and that's why I appreciate the people doing the research on this show. Like stark contrast to something like, say, Lower Decks, that is like calling out its references left and right all the time, but in a way that I guess has become endearing to me, and in a way that isn't as off-putting as like Star Trek Picard. But that show's over, so what do I care about that? Anyway. Imagine a Spock episode where he's like, hey, he likes logic. Well, have you seen some of the previews that are coming up? That's someone says that to him more or less mockingly. He's like, do I really sound like that? And they're like, yes. So I'm guessing this has something to do with the next episode that's coming, where I don't know if I like this premise at all, because anything to do with T'Pring is like hijinks related, which was really a lot of fun. But like in this next episode, a shuttle accident causes him to lose his Vulcan DNA for some reason. So whatever that reason is, which makes no sense, I kind of appreciate that it's a good excuse for Ethan Peck to flex his acting chops, acting muscles, show off his acting chops, flex his acting muscles. It'll be fun for that reason. Just like the body swap episode. Does it make a lot of sense? Like scientifically? No. Do I care? Again, a good excuse for interesting acting. But I feel like this is also a good way to show that these are all the reasons that later on in the original series, T'Pring is going to be like, Spock, yeah, a bit much. I want someone boring and simple. But I can't chance that you kill him, so I'm going to make you fight your best friend. Anyway, I thought I was going to talk about Andor today. I was incorrect. All right. So we're going to talk about Patreon now. I was really hoping, you guys, that we would be able to okay. All right, sorry, I'm trying to find, they've changed Patreon a little bit, so I need to organize this. I was really hoping that I was going to have a video ready by our anniversary on Sunday. That's the 16th. Our 16th anniversary is the 16th. It's our golden birthday, y'all. It ain't going to happen, unfortunately. But we're still working on our anniversary celebration. It'll just not start on the actual anniversary. Like, July's been a while. I've been working on this for a really long time. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys. We have many tiers. Tears, not like crying tears, but like many contribution levels on our Patreon. So as with usual for our extra credit and above levels, I'm going to put up a preview. It's going to be a partial preview of the next video that we're going to do. You already know what it is if you've been subscribed, but we are working on an SP version of our first episode. Not just the first episode, the whole ding-dang first season. And it's appropriate that I'm talking about this on a Star Wars stream because it's very George Lucas. We're adding all kinds of bells and whistles, like improving the editing, we're improving the special effects, we're adding things that we couldn't do before. We're not fundamentally changing this, we're just adding things around the contours, although there are a few surprises in store that are not going to be in this draft. So if you can't wait for the full version, and why should you, you can go to patreon.com/Famicom Dojo and sign up now at the $2 a month extra credit tier or higher. So you get that, you get all of our previous drafts around the same subject. You will be able to see some of the other stuff that we're doing. Like, we're going to do this for all 6 of those season 1 episodes. Not the least of which is that, like, in episodes 5 and 6, Vinnk actually had a widescreen camera and gave me widescreen footage that I had to crop for 4:3 because I didn't have that. So now, like, we're going widescreen with this stuff. It involves some cropping in the other way, but I'm doing it in a very interesting way. I hope that doesn't, like, lose information. But it's going to make all the new and the old stuff flow together better, I think. So I'm going to put that up. It'll be up on our anniversary day. So if you subscribe now, you're not going to miss it. Just saying, why wait? Patreon.com/Famicom Dojo. And then now is the time that we read off our Dojo disciples and producers for this show and our pre-recorded scripted stuff and our podcasts. For Dojo Disciples, at the tippity top, we have Andrew Greeley, Bombs, Daniel Hathcock, and Earl Grey III. Producers, we have Butt Lord, Jodes Forever, Keith Robinson, Peter Burrell, and Rachel Moser. I see Lena Blue, you dropped off. Sorry to see you go. You're still here. But even at $1, for anyone who signs up, by the way, you will see the videos I'm talking about before anyone else. Like, you will see the full final version before anyone else gets to. So I hope that you consider even doing $1 if you aren't already. You're watching this today, because even $1 is better than an ad. It really is, especially on these streams where we don't have monetization. And even if we earn it, I don't think that we're going to. I don't feel the need, really. So yeah, that's what we got for you. We also have some new Patreon signups. Pook Ninja joined, and Brazilian Monarchist. Thank you for signing up. We have an audio version of our second to most recent Famicom Dojo video game podcast, aka DojoCast, episode 179, all about Samba de Amigo. That's on the audio feed. We have one more episode to put up on the audio feed. We have the follow-up to second season of Schmigadoon over at Two Boobs Watch the Tube, and that's going to be on the audio this week, hopefully. I meant to work on that today, but other things came up, like making sure I got this stream going today. As far as this stream goes, July is going to be weird and August is going to be weirder. So I might be able to do one more this month, and then I won't be able to do one the week after that. And then August, I think we're going to only be able to do 2 of these. So I'm gonna work my darndest between trying to get these other videos out and doing all of this, that we need to get the producers' picks going again. So we're going to do that so that you guys can pick the videos that we're going to do. I don't think I'll have one done in time by next week, so I'm thinking about doing some Tears of the Kingdom. Haven't decided if I'm going to go off of where I currently am or if I'm going to start from scratch, because I have a lot to say about the beginning of the game, especially now that I know how to play it. But at the same time, I don't want to spend a lot of time. Like, how much are you going to learn from that? Like, we're barely going to get out of the sky if I do that. So I'll figure that out. But I think Tears of the Kingdom is what we're going to do next week until we figure things out. But anyhoozle, that's what I got for you. I hope you're excited. I'm excited too. This Saturday is also the 40th anniversary of the Famicom. So this is all part of the Famicom's 40th anniversary. So we got these old videos having to do with the Famicom. We've got new ones coming out. Vinnk and I are working on some new footage. It's going to be great. You're going to enjoy it. I hope you enjoy. Look for it this Sunday. Our preview of our SP version of Season 1 of Famicom Dojo. I'm giggling just thinking about it. Anyway, until next time, then, the dojo is boldly going.
Famicom Dojo.